Alright guys, so to set up our environment with Vite, React and Tailwind is actually very easy, very simple. There's no need to overcomplicate it. Just go to your computer, open your terminal, and of course for this one I expect you to already have VS Code and Node.js installed in your computer. To check if you have it, just like type node-v, and if it shows here the version of it, it means you have it, but if it does not, then it means that you have to install it. And all you have to do is just go to Google and you're gonna type here Node.js, and the first option that's gonna show you, it's probably the right one, so just click to install it and just follow the next steps. And once you know you have it installed in your computer, you're just gonna make a folder. You can rename it whatever you want. I'm just gonna rename like project. After that, we're gonna go back to Google and we're gonna type Vite on Google, and the first option again that shows, you're gonna click here in getting started. And when you come to this page, you will see a lot of options, but what we are interested here is to scaffold a template in our VS Code. So you could actually go here and click here and see more options of Vite with other frameworks. But since we have npm installed, the Node package management that comes together with Node when install Node, so all we need is just like to copy this here and go back to our terminal, and then we're gonna paste, actually we're gonna go to the folder we created, so we're gonna change directory. Just make sure you know where you have placed your folder. I know that I have placed mine inside here, the desktop, so I'm just gonna change directory and open the folder. So like I see that I'm inside the folder, and I will just like paste what we got from the Vite website and just like press enter. And once we do that, we're gonna see that it's gonna give us the option to name the project for whatever we want, but for now I'm just gonna keep this one and press end. And then here you see that you have like the options to choose other frameworks, or if you want to do it with vanilla JavaScript, but for this video we want to stick with React, so we just like type it. And then we have the option to pick if we want JavaScript or not, so we just want JavaScript again. And here we can see that's already installed. So the next steps we have to follow are those 3 steps here. So just remember that we are inside the folder that we created called project, but now we're gonna go inside the actual project that we created with Vite. And just remember that we didn't rename it, so that's why it's called Vite project. So we're gonna go inside, and the next steps to paste this one here as well to install it. Then we click it. It's gonna take some seconds, but it's very quick. And then we have a third step here that like this is for opening the project on the browser. We're gonna do it afterwards when we install it. And now we're gonna open it on VS Code. So to open it on VS Code, we could do it like in many different ways. You could just like drop and drag it to the VS Code application. We could go inside VS Code, but like I'm gonna just show a shortcut that I love. It's just like write code and dot, and then it's gonna open VS Code. Here you guys can see that we have everything installed already so far, and everything worked fine. Next step, we're gonna go back to Google and we're gonna type Tailwind-css on Google here, and then we're gonna follow those steps here. So like the first step is to install Tailwind, because we already have Vite installed, so we're just gonna grab it again and go back to our terminal and install it. And you guys, you don't need to memorize these commands because you're gonna get it with time, so it's not so important actually. Then we're gonna go to our Vite config ts file, in our case JS because we chose vanilla JavaScript. So we're just gonna copy this, because you see this is if we didn't have it, but we have Vite already, so we just need to pick those highlighted parts here, Ctrl C, and then we're gonna go to VS Code, and here we're gonna gonna find the Vite config.js file. We're just gonna import the file that we picked there, and then we're gonna go back there and we're gonna take this other here plugin, go back to VS Code, and here we're just gonna put a comma and yeah, put the plugin here with React in the Vite file. So we're gonna go back to the website and see what is missing, and we're missing to go in the CS file and import this one here. We go back there and then we're gonna find our CSS file, and here you see that you have the index CSS and the app CSS, and of course the index CSS is like the one we're gonna keep because afterwards we're gonna clean what we don't need here. So you go to index CSS and then you can probably paste it here. Then we go back again to Google, and this here we're gonna do it like as the last step because it's just like to open. By the way, this is also the step that was here on the terminal, like as the third one. It's just like to open it, to open the application on the browser. So we're gonna just like pick this one here. Let's see what we need here. Actually, we don't need this part here because we're not gonna install it in the HTML file because we're using React. So we're just gonna grab this part here, then we're gonna go back there and we're gonna go in our application and we can probably paste it here. Okay, here you just like make sure that you fix this because it's not class, it's class name on React, because this here was like just for HTML. And now as the last step, we're gonna go back to our terminal and we're gonna write that command that we saw as the third step here. So just copy here, go back here and paste it, and then you're gonna get a link here. You just copy this link and you go back to Google, paste the link here, and this here is that hello world that we copied from Tailwind. And just to make sure that this is working, we're gonna go back to VS Code, and here you see there is like some Tailwind classes already, but I just like to put this one text red just like to make sure that's actually working. So if we go back there, we see that's actually working perfectly. So as the last step, we're just gonna go back here to VS Code and delete everything we don't need to use. Like we could actually delete probably all this here and like build it again. You actually don't need this app CSS either because you're gonna use all the Tailwind classes here, and the extra things you're gonna probably put inside the index CSS. This is how I do at least. So just to make this video simple and short, I will stop it here. But if you guys need more help, just put in the comments below. I'm sure that other people is gonna be willing to help you guys, and me too if I have the free time to do so. And if this video has helped you, just give it a like so I will know that I have helped someone today.